Hello. I've been watching some videos about microsoldering and board level repairs, and I've learned a thing or two. I've primarily learned that you need better lighting, better cameras, more cameras, and things like that. I haven't actually learned anything, but I'm just testing out the live stream thingamabobbies, and I figured why not take another crack at I think it was a broken analog to digital converter on this guy. So let's try opening this up. I'm not very well prepared. I don't even know, do I have audio? Maybe if I turn audio on, that would help. Testing. Yeah. Sorry if I'm screaming at you. No one's actually watching this, so that's fine. Touching the microphone seems to make sound. So I guess I have sound. All right. Let's find ourselves a Torx screwdriver. It's ironic that I said we need better cameras and I decided more cameras. So I've got a shitty C-mount camera there with a very poor lens. But why not? It's the right size. Of course, sticking the microphone next to the switcher is a great idea because every time I touch the switcher, you'll get to hear it, assuming you can hear anything. These weren't in very far. I should get a little bowly thing for parts. Where have all my bowls gone? Who knows? As I recall, this has clips, which I'll promptly break one off, I'm sure. I need a guitar pickup or something. The problem with cleaning my desk is now I can't find anything. Oh, I think I broke something. There we go. Unclipped. So let's see if we can get you in for a close-up and see if I can remind myself of what the problem was on this guy. I tried repairing this in a previous video. I'm pretty sure I diagnosed the problem. It should be obvious to see where I tried repairing it, but let's zoom in. How do I do that? Okay, we are zoomed in. My eyes are shitty. So I recall, which way are we facing? Okay, these are the inputs over here. So my analog to digital converter for these inputs, I think, is what got blown. Or was it on the output side? I'm pretty sure it was on the input side. I should have tested this before repairing it. Let's have a look. Now, I've got multifocal glasses now, so I don't need to take my glasses off to look at things. I should be able to use just my eyes. Okay, I can see some evidence of repair. So I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but hey, I've got a microscope. Let's do microscoping. Let's get the microscope set up and focused. I've got a focal reducer for this microscope, but it's not reducing enough. All right, and the video quality is not great from it. Looks like my text is being mirrored in the video. Oh well. I guess that's... Anyway, it's this chip here. You can see I thought the problem was a 75 ohm resistor here. That focus is just shite. I can get you a little bit better. I can't for the life of me get this microscope parfocal, but it's with crappy lenses. Anyway, so I replaced this 75 ohm resistor here with a, looks like an 0805, and they were using 0402s, but I thought maybe that was a problem, but that's not the problem. I've worked out the problem was this chip here, this ADV 7393, which you cannot see. And there is another one on the board here. And so my theory is firstly that this one over here is toast. And so I need to get it off the board. Sorry, I don't know why it's mirrored for you guys. Anyway, whatever. No one's actually watching, so it doesn't really matter. This is more just a technology test. I'm pretty sure this one's busted, but I couldn't for the life of me get it off. And I was at the point of thinking that I needed to get myself a looks dark or whatever. Get myself a board heater. And I was worried that there are a lot of components on the back, but there aren't. There's just some passives, some decoupling caps by the looks of it around this BGA package, which is probably the Spartan 6 FPGA. So I could get a board heater and put heat underneath this, just a little one there. I should get some capped on tape maybe and tape it over, but I don't have a board heater, and I don't really care too much about this device. It's been superseded by better devices. So I might just try fixing it, which will probably be more of a microscope activity than a non-microscope activity. So where are we? That's a good one. Here is the bad one. See if I can get the camera at least to be aligned with my view. All right, so how to remove this? As I recall, you can see there's some markage on there from previous attempts by yours truly. I'm not too worried about that cap. It's weird with the mirrored video. I'm not too worried about that cap there. I can always replace that. But I want to get this guy off the board. And this is obviously lead-free solder, so that's a higher melting point. And as I recall, this chip, I probably should pull up the data sheet for it. But anyway, I'm pretty sure that this is an analog to digital converter. Makes a ton of sense. Pretty sure it has a large thermal pad underneath. So there's not much I can do about that thermal pad and the solder there, but I can probably try at least making some sort of eutectic mixture of, you can't see that, of leaded solder and the solder that's on there, and lower the melting temperature of that stuff at least. And see if that helps get it all off. So let's start by applying flux. All right, so I got me some flux. This is more sticky flux. The stuff I was using, I typically use, just evaporates too fast. Let's flux her up nice and good. And hopefully with that flux, things will go a little bit better. I have my JVC with a cupped tip, so one of the tips that has like a little indentation in it. It's a bit fat for this, but that's fine. Just want to do some drag soldering. I don't care if I cross any connectors, cross any pins, because it doesn't matter. I really should have a fan for this. But one thing I did is I had this fan here, which you can't see yet despite the obvious wide angle lens. And this fan here, I drilled a, what is that, 1/4 nut in the top so that I could mount it to my microscope. That way it was always with me. I thought that was very clever, but then I needed that mount, that Noga arm, to mount these fancy lights. So we are without a stand. What's it? Probably just stick the old stand back on it. That's the great thing about live streaming, is I can totally be off script and distracted and see what happens. I have to leave in 10 minutes anyway, so I'm not going to get very far. I may come back later. This is a test, only a test. And that is the wrong bolt. But you know what? That will hold the fan there nicely. Is the fan even plugged in? Yes, it is. All right. Sorry for the sound. I have no idea what the audio quality is like in this. I'll find that out in a moment. Let's try flooding with, look at that. I can be fancy like. Let's try flooding with some solder. I'm going to be able to squeeze in under those pins. And the idea is just to try and lower the melting point by mixing in some lead with the unleaded stuff. All right, that's mixed in. Next up, turn that off. Heat gun, which is tangled in the core. My hot glue gun, and it's currently set to 225C, which is probably a touch too low for this. I remember that this was a royal pain in the ass, so I've thrown caution to the wind. And I'm at what, 390 Celsius. I probably should get myself some tweezers while I'm heating this up. Where are the tweezers that I like? Here. And like a QFN tip for this heat gun would be good. I'm sure it came with one, but God knows where that went. This is great live stream viewing, I'm sure. Is this guy even coming close? You'd think that little cap would melt. But no. Look, I'm going to try and just getting this cap off. Not that I want that cap to come off, but if I can't get this cap off, then I've got very little hope of getting the chip off. I think it's probably a combination of leaded solder. It's not even melting. You can see the side which I touch with my iron is melting. The other side is not. All right. Keep working it around. Just poking at these balls. See if the ones which I touch with my iron with the lead solder seem to be loosening up. But the ones that are behind that capacitor still pretty solid. I remember when I was doing this before, it felt like I had my iron on here for years and nothing was happening. I was just so scared. But I don't really know what I was scared of. This chip is trashed. It did get line voltage through it. And so I'm not scared now. I'm just going to keep on keeping on until the doorbell rings, which is going to be in 3 minutes. So I have to check my phone. I'm really sorry about the quality of this microscope camera. Looking through the oculars with the eyeballs, everything looks really good and bright. On the screen, it doesn't seem to be. That's fine. And these guys around here all seem to be flowing. Oop, I just bridged. I'm guessing it's the thermal pad underneath. You know what? Crank up more heat. Yeah, that guy's getting hot. Probably toasting that. Maybe some foil would have been a good idea. Again, if I can't get this cap off. Oh! I did get that cap off. I'm at actually stupid temperature right now. But a time pressure, man. I'll do something in 5 minutes. There's balls behind the cap just melted. Right, this one's down here. Is this great video? Does the lighting make this more compelling? Does it feel cinematic? Oh, it's lifting, it's lifting. Oh, look how big that thermal pad was. Oh my God. Well, I should probably, I don't know why I'm still holding the heat on it. All right. I have to go. I've got a meeting in a couple of minutes. So, yeah, we don't want picture-in-picture of a picture of myself. I got it off. But at what cost? All right, I'm going to go do my thing and see if I can fix this guy in the next great live stream. See ya.